Welcome back to the Awesome Agents podcast. Okay, Maya, this one is wild. Researchers just pulled almost an entire Harry Potter book out of an AI model.
Yeah, and not just Harry Potter. We are talking full novels, near word for word, from commercial models that billions of people use every day.
So walk me through this. A team from Stanford and Yale ran these experiments. What exactly did they do?
So they tested four major models: Claude 3.7 Sonnet, Gemini 2.5 Pro, Grok 3, and GPT 4.1. They picked 13 books, mostly from the Books 3 corpus, which is that pirated ebook collection that basically every AI company trained on.
Right, the one that became toxic once lawsuits started flying. So how do you even get a model to spit out a whole book?
That is the fascinating part. For Gemini and Grok, you literally just ask, you give them a short passage and say continue. No tricks, no hacking, nothing.
Wait, seriously? No jailbreaking at all?
None. Gemini 2.5 Pro reproduced 76.8% of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone with zero safety intervention. Grok 3 got 70.3%. They just kept writing.
That is honestly shocking. What about Claude and GPT?
Those two actually refused initially. Their alignment guardrails kicked in. So the researchers used something called best of n jailbreaking.
Which is what exactly?
You bombard the model with randomized variations of the same prompt. Flip character cases, shuffle word order, swap in visual glyphs. Eventually, the model slips past its own guardrails.
So brute force, basically. How many tries did it take?
Claude cracked after 258 attempts, and then it gave up 95.8% of Harry Potter. GPT 4.1 held out for over 5,000 attempts, and even then only gave up about 4%.
So OpenAI's model was actually the most resistant by a huge margin.
By far. And here's the thing: the researchers say their method was conservative. They only counted blocks of 100 or more consecutive words that matched. Actual memorization is probably higher.
How much text are we talking about in a single output? Like a paragraph?
No, way more. Gemini's longest single block was over 9,000 consecutive words. That is roughly 18 pages of a printed novel from one API call.
18 pages from memory. Okay, so here is the big question. AI companies have been saying for years that models learn patterns, they do not store copies. This seems to blow that up.
It does. Technically, they are not lying. The weights are not a database you can search. But when you can reconstruct 97.5% of The Great Gatsby from those weights, the distinction between storing and memorizing starts to feel pretty hollow.
And this has real legal consequences, right? There was a huge settlement.
Anthropic settled for $1.5 billion, dollars, the largest copyright settlement in US history, about 3,000 per book across roughly 500,000 titles. And there are over 60 more cases pending.
Plus that German court ruling against OpenAI.
Right, the Munich court said training on copyrighted lyrics is infringement under EU law. And they specifically said that even when works are broken into numerical parameters across a model, that still counts as a tangible fixation under copyright.
That is a really important legal precedent. So what does this mean going forward for these companies?
I think the uncomfortable truth is that for an industry that bet hundreds of billions on fair use protections holding up, this paper is a problem. The data is not just in the training pipeline, it is in the product, recoverable on demand.
And for what? The cost of a coffee?
Literally. The Gemini extraction cost 2.44 cents. The whole experiment, including thousands of jailbreak attempts on Claude, was between $55 and $135.
One thing I noticed is that Claude 3.7 Sonnet was discontinued about 2 months after the researchers told Anthropic about these findings. Coincidence?
The paper notes that, and Anthropic has not said whether the findings contributed, but the timing is notable. You have to wonder if newer models are being specifically trained to resist this kind of extraction.
Which would kind of be an admission that the memorization is there in the first place.
Exactly. You cannot fix what you do not acknowledge. And this paper makes it really hard to keep saying these models just learn patterns.
So if you are a publisher or an author right now, this is basically the evidence you have been waiting for.
It is empirical proof, peer reviewed, with exact dollar amounts and extraction rates. Every pending lawsuit just got a lot more interesting.
All right, that is a big one to sit with. If you want the full breakdown, we have got the article on awesomeagents.ai. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.
See you next time.